to like. Yeah, I don't know how to switch the stream thing. It's gonna say like session 3 or whatever. This is Arc 4, so it'll be. I'll fix that in post. Okay. Welcome back, everybody, to I don't know, the Adventuring Guild of Mossstone. It's not really there anymore, so this is now the Merge, a post-apocalyptic level 15 plus campaign set in the Shadowfell / Material Plane merged place of Faerun. And let's do a quick recap. At level 1, you guys went to the guild upon receiving a strange invoice requesting your participation. You all leveled up there, did quests, made friends, lost friends, had friends get sucked into the abyss, etc. Lost multiple people to Krakens, and grew up sort of in the guild, leveled up, and learned that deep within the guild there were some secrets concerning some secret powers, some things that Marin was working towards, and was using the guild sort of as a guise to uncover it. As the sort of months went by, you eventually participated in restoring the political structure of the city and of getting in the way of coups and of stopping Mossdown from burning down. You also traveled up north and saved Bryn Shander. You from dragons. You went down to Chult and unlocked a portal there, and eventually discovered a staff that was hidden behind a centuries-old fabricated religion. And all of that together brought you to the bottom layer of the guild, where you unlocked the final portal and stepped down into the lowest level, where you discovered something called a ley line. At the ley line, you discovered the egg of a crystal dragon, which you had never seen before, nor had anybody else seen it in a long, long time. And you were quested with taking that egg and getting it out of this place. In reality, you were quested with taking it out of this time. And you were sent forward in time 30 years, where what you discovered was that while you were gone, the bad guys won and completely took over the material plane, with some holdouts, places where there are bits of resistance, but for the most part, everyone who is against the Shadow Bar are in hiding, including Marin, who is running his bit of resistance from the fallen city of Yedrin, deep under the ground, deep under the ice in the far north. And that's where we're picking up. You are part of one of the last groups of capable people marked by your gods, which give you ability to act in this place in ways that all other mortals cannot, unless they too are marked. And you are tasked with fixing it in some way or other, whatever way you decide. And I'll say, any questions about all that before setting up the actual scene you're in?
I think I'm good.
Yeah, I think we're good.
None for me.
That's pretty good. Pretty easy summary of like 2 years at work.
Good summary.
Not really. I forgot about the portal part until we got to Chult. Anyways, you find yourself now in Ythrin, the teleportation circle. Oh, feel free to full rest it up. You probably have like damage done to you from like things I was testing, so we'll get rid of that. You are all here in what's equivalent to like an underground bunker, so to speak. I'll have more for this area in the future. This little base, there'll be more. You'll have a room and stuff. For now, I was just focused on making sure you had something to do in this session. So there's not a lot of art, but you'll find there Marin, who looks about 25 years younger than the day you met him, and Lyra, who you know to be a master wizard focusing on teleportation, and Humphrey, who seems to be there serving sort of as a guard to both of them. There is sort of a sense that there are other people involved in this organization, that it's not just the three of them, but exactly who those people are and what they're doing is sort of unknown at the moment. And part of that is me hinting at there's other people involved. Part of that is that I don't have all those tokens and things worked out yet, so it's I've got a year's worth of prep to do here. Anyways, so just to cut to the chase here, the thing that we talked about last time was that Marin is basically convinced that whatever the solution is, and there's a few problems to solve. First is the problem that you all still have to figure out how to send Marin back in time to start this whole cycle in the first place, which is a pretty important task. Otherwise, basically space-time falls apart and everything breaks. That's at least the assumption. And then the other thing is that you need to figure out a solution to the end of the world scenario here, whatever solution you choose. And the assumption is that the bottom of the guild holds, or not bottom of the guild, sorry, the bottom of Candlekeep is the only place where such guarded secrets might be held. And that's the spiel that Marin gives you in a cooler voice.
Is it like evil British or like regular British? What does young Marin sound like?
Well, so old Marin, I don't know, was he British?
No, he wasn't.
Yeah, old Marin was like, Mustone Guild members. So younger Marin's a little bit like, Mustone Guild members. It's not as frail sounding.
Yeah.
But it's also weird because this Marin doesn't really know you. This is kind of the first time he's meeting you. He was told about you and told that you would come. But this is not the Marin who fought in the bottom of the guild. This is the Marin who will eventually go do that.
Eventually, after being sent into the past.
Yep, and then
we meet young Marin with the ice dragon?
That's true. This is the second time you're meeting him. You saved him from being held in captivity by our Beatrice, and you set him free so he was able to continue his work in Ythrin.
Right.
I'll just say this about Ythrin, just to give you a little bit of flavor. You find yourself in a chamber right now. There's lots of pipes and old, kind of looks like technology, but it's sort of magi-tech stuff, crafted by master artificers and the like. And you can sort of look out the door of this place into sort of a main cavern that is just sort of a massive cave. You see it's kind of like the the city is now, because of the crater it formed, the ceiling is like a form of a sheet of ice that is sort of covered over the top. So you're kind of in an underground igloo almost. Looking up to the ceiling, very little light is coming through because there's not much light on the surface. But for the most part, this massive underground city is lit by strange sort of floating lights things that you take to be perhaps remnants of old magic in the original city of Ythryn, sort of like street lights, but they're all sort of floating around aimlessly, having long been sort of detached from their bases. And odd sort of weather patterns, as like every once in a while you'll see like a bit of lightning strike, connecting, various, like in various areas of Ythryn. So you just hear like a thunder roll through town. And what you can see out the door is essentially a ruined old city. Some buildings have been sort of propped up and rebuilt or something. You can tell that, Marin and his people have been at work making this into like a little bit of a habitable place. But a lot of it is just ruins, fallen over, trashed, destroyed.
Is there like a perimeter within the city that's like safe and then it's dangerous outside of that?
Yeah, there's sort of a sense that what the city is essentially a lot of neighborhoods with different industries, and that you are in one sort of a tech or science industry wing, and the neighborhood you're currently in seems to be secured and safe by virtue of Marin and his followers. And that's what Humphrey would say, essentially, that they've carved out a little space. They've got security things in place. But outside of that, Ythryn is home to lots of other people, some of which are here from the fall of the city, old people who remained here, some of which have come to dwell in here, and some which are sort of unknown.
Do we hear anything coming through these pipes?
Um, that's a
Maybe an
good
investigation might reveal.
question. Yeah, so what I'll say is that you get the feeling that this is not a fully functioning, like, science place, but it is somewhat functioning. There are things that are up and running. And yeah, there are some things flowing through the pipes, usually just water from what you can tell. But yeah, I'll just say there's some activity. You get the feeling that some of them are just like not operating currently, either because whatever they're hooked up to is not turned on or enabled, or it's just broken.
Got you.
So, Vosner, he's pretty tired and spent and confused on like what the hell just happened over what seems to be the past, I don't know, hour or so, in his perception of time. And he walks over to Humphrey, because this is the first time he's met Humphrey, other than like a little bit on the battlefield, and says, you know, I know that Marin had a lot of allies, um, but you know, I haven't met you, and it would be nice to know sort of who you are, where what you may have been doing, um, what you think of all of this, because I could just use a couple minutes to kind of, I don't know, reorient myself. So before we start trying to repair the world, let's get to know one another.
Just to spare you me trying to do Tim's chosen accent for Humphrey, which is like I would kind of like pinned him as sort of like perturbed butler.
Okay.
I
So
don't
like
know.
Alfred when he's
Yeah,
just like
yeah.
over it.
I'm just gonna say that while this has been, I'll say it, from Lyra. Lyra would come up to you and say like, while this has only been an hour or so for you, we've lived a lifetime here. It has been 30 years. Um, there'd be far too much to explain in that little amount of time. And Humphrey has suffered a great deal. He doesn't like to speak much of it. We are grateful that he is here to protect us and to continue our mission, but maybe don't ask him about what he had to do to stay alive.
uh, as even-tempered as Vosner is, he in this moment is just a little taken aback at that response by Lyra. And he'll take a step towards her, and he'll. Oh wait, I have a new thing that I can do, right? I can partially polymorph part of my body, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Or caster combat shape.
Don't know what it would have, if it would have much mechanical or like.
No, it was more of a narrative thing.
Oh, sure.
But so you sort of see, so Vazder sort of like turns around a little bit of frustration. And he says, I'm not discounting your time, your sacrifices, what you've done to survive in any sort of pragmatic way. And you see sort of his eyes sort of flash, and they look like little pantherish eyes. And like you see his canine sort of like elongate a little bit. And him sort of like partially sort of like his hair sort of partially get a little black, as if he was going to wild shape. But he like turns around quickly to say, but it would be helpful to rest and reorient for us. We're here. We're all on the same team. But your wisdom of the past 30 years is very valuable right now. And since we have the ability to do something about it, it might be helpful to kind of get up to speed.
Sure. We can tell you everything you know, or everything we know. If you'd like to rest, you are welcome to. There are chambers for it. And I'll just say that if there's a place on this map we can just refer to as your room. Yeah, I'll make one. 1 second. There's a door to your south. That is now your chambers. You are welcome to go there if you would like. And Lyra points and says, feel free to get some rest. You are assuredly tired. I will give you a detailed note of all of the things we know that might be pertinent to your investigation, and you can feel free to ask any questions. And in case as a player you want to know, you can look in session 0 under factions and characters, and you'll see a list of things that sort of like detail recon that's been done that might help you figure out sort of where things are, what's going on.
Gotcha. Okay, sounds good.
Veyral, upon leaving, gives kind of a long, pensive look at young Marin and Humphrey and Lyra, and kind of silently leaves, but is reflecting on his new acquaintances.
Yeah, I'll say a quick thank you both for the information. And I'll like bow my head and walk out with the others.
She bows back. She's very grateful for that. Is Laurel, you still do need to do a long rest, by the way, but that's up to you.
Yep, probably.
I'll throw Laurel in the other room. So now you're in your own chamber. Do you want to like shut the door and talk amongst yourselves? Is that the idea?
That's probably a good idea. Yeah.
All right. It's like a steampunk door. It's like big and steel, and it like you push a button on the wall, and like it closes itself and seals, and it feels pretty like airtight in here. Like you can talk freely amongst yourselves.
Are there like bunks?
Yeah, we'll say there are. It's pretty like it's not nice living, but there are like little cots sort of set out.
Alright.
Veyral's wand transmutates into Uloshan's staff, and to make things a little more homey, I will cast Major Image with it to make our living quarters almost exact cosmetically as they were in the guild, the kind of little bear squad room that they all shared. But the cots, of course, are where they're placed. So
Now, does this actually change anything, or just looks nice?
it's just it's revealed to be an illusion, but it just cosmetically makes things look a little more homey and familiar to what we're used to.
All right. Nice.
Taryn will like sit down heavily on one of the cots and ask, so what does this mean for us? What just happened?
Yes. To be honest, I don't know.
We were brought into the future some 30-odd years, were we not?
So they
Yeah.
sent us forward to save them in the future.
Save them in the future. I don't know what good that does now.
Well, now is the future.
I believe what we do here in the future will have a way of doubling back into the past. At this point, I'm not sure that there's a meaningful difference between the future and the present and the past any longer.
Taryn kind of sighs and tell this is kind of beyond his intellectual pay grade, so he just kind of nods along.
This situation seems dire indeed. Viral, do you have any idea what our next steps might be?
I believe we need to... Would Veyral know that Candlekeep is still existent and has the information to move forward?
So Veyral would know that there are restricted areas in Candlekeep that are basically off limits to everyone with exception of a very small group. So restricted that he's never been allowed to go in there, but he knows that they do exist. He doesn't exactly know how to get to them. That's something that like only the headmaster wizard would pass on to the next one. But he knows they do exist, and it's a fair assumption to think that if if there's an answer, it would be there, and that it's very unlikely that anybody else would have been able to find it. So whatever's left of Candlekeep, that's an open question, but this place might be fine.
Okay. So Varel would say, we have more information to collect. We're still in the less than one. And so in the near future, in the faintest kind of smirk appears as he continues to use tenses that he no longer believes. In the near future, we'll have to disperse to find this information. And with that, we can make more informed decisions about what to do next. In short, before too long, we'll be traveling far and wide as usual.
Perhaps we can take some comfort in that familiarity. Captain, is there need for reconnaissance of the area?
I suppose yes, but I don't know how safe it would be to go out.
I don't know. With the shadow, as it were, that's something to consider.
Yes, what do you know about the Shadowfell, Vosner? Wasn't this part of your dreams?
Yeah, there was. Oh, I forget what the guy's name was.
Which guy, Gert?
The guy from my vision. Eventually, I got a name, and I don't know where I put my actual notebook that I had a while
Did you get a
ago.
name?
I thought I did. Maybe I didn't.
I don't think you
Yeah.
ever got a name about who that was. We think we referred to him as the sort of the cloaked figure with red eyes.
Yeah.
So you at least have that.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, the cloaked figure with red eyes has uh, has definitely been at the center of my visions and understanding of all of this. But for whatever reason, they wanted to come here, and they have plans to be on the plane. But my understanding of nature is that the planes are separate, and we need to find a way to restore that. So past, present, whatever it is currently, we are very much at a disadvantage. I'm not exactly sure how to restore it, but from my point of view, that is one of our most important things.
Now we rest then.
Okay. You all take a long rest. I know you've already done that mechanically, so you sleep, and eventually Lyra comes in, after a while, and sort of just leaves a tray full of food. It's kind of curious food. It's all like vegetarian. It seems like mushroom derived. And she sort of leaves a tray on the ground and says, "We're ready for you if you want to discuss our next move, but take your time." And she sort of steps out of the door and goes to close it.
Varel approaches the mushrooms, looks at them kind of questioningly, unsure, and kind of turns his head towards Vosner, as if to ask the druid if he could discern how a mushroom is managing to grow in a cave underground. Varel has his suspicions, but is not sure.
Vosner would definitely know that that's what mushrooms do. That's how they do. And he seems kind of. Do these mushrooms look weird, or?
They look weird to you. They're from a northern. They're like a northern mushroom that you've probably seen them. They probably look fine to you, but they're like sort of exotic to you.
But they don't look like otherworldly strange. They just look
Right.
regionally like strange. Got it.
Correct.
So Vosner looks excited, and he walks over and he takes a bite out of one.
It's nourishing. It's not particularly interesting or very good, but it's got minerals and calories and all the things you need. It is not made out of the corpses of the dead.
All right, it's the post-apocalypse and we're underground. It would work, but all right. Varel takes the smallest bite using only his 2 front teeth and seems sated.
Taryn will have some pretty emotionlessly.
Yeah, likewise. Isilda's going to try to do her morning prayers and see if she can connect to Ilmater at all.
Okay. Roll me a religion check. First roll of the new campaign. I guess Pharaoh rolled me importance earlier. Ooh.
It's a doozy.
Also, you didn't click on the religion button. You have +6 to that. Unless, did it break or no?
No, I just don't remember how to function.
If you double click your character, you can pull open your character sheet, and then you can click on any of the names of things. There we go. Isolda, you try to do your morning prayers, and you get the feeling that in past times when you prayed, you were praying till Ilmater, but even though you hadn't really thought of it having a direction, there was sort of a directionality to it, at least in the sense that you were sort of willing your spirit towards a plane of existence where Ilmater resides. You cannot feel that plane of existence. You feel as though you pray and it's like it hits a wall. Your sort of spirit leaves you and then just immediately comes back. And you feel disconnected.
She sort of just sits there and looks frustrated for a while, and then gets up and looks at the door and looks back at Damon and says, "If you're still interested in doing some reconnaissance, I think maybe I need to go for a walk."
Damon was getting kind of antsy watching you all eat mushrooms, so he's up and ready to go.
Taryn was just kind of like numbly eating, but seeing Isolda's frustration, he started to get antsy as well. And there's like palpable nervous energy emanating from him.
Would you like to come with us as well, Taryn?
I think that would be good, yes.
Alright. Veril and Vosner, do you want to come up with some sort of next steps?
Yes, that'll be fine.
Alright. We won't be too long.
Yeah,
Hope not.
Taryn or Damon and I can work on that, I guess.
Varel.
Varel, sorry.
Varel corrects you in game. Yeah.
Vosner bites him.
Alright, so I'll take Damon and Taryn and I guess start to do some exploration.
Okay, give me a second. I'll get some cool art.
He's drawing it live.
Hopefully we don't get like killed after immediately splitting the party.
In our only safe haven, yeah. Even here,
Yeah.
it's not safe.
Lyra was just waiting for us to separate so she could pick us off.
As you three leave, you notice the major illusion I'd been conjuring immediately dissipates, and the steampunk pipes and rock reveals itself once again.
Depressing.
Man, should have done this beforehand. Alright, well, we're gonna have to wing it a bit. So, I don't have good art to pull from, and then everybody... It's hard to steal art from the internet these days. Oh, here we go. This is somewhat... Let's see if I got this right. Token vision. No. I don't know. Alright, can you see that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
that's kind of what it looks like. It's a little more civilized than that. I'll say like you look off one corner and that's kind of what you see, which is just sort of like ruins, but functional. There are some places that are sort of carved into living spaces and some places that are not. You sort of walk out of the area and you find yourself just in kind of a particular district. The one you're in right now is more mechanical. There's more artificery, more technology, but it's old. It's falling apart. A lot of it hasn't been maintenance. You can see places that clearly Marin and Lyra have worked on, and perhaps others, though you don't necessarily know who, have been sort of carving up these things, working on them, trying to make them more functional again, so that they can restore some of the utility and I don't know, services and things that these places provide, like fresh water, etc. That said, walking around here, you get the feeling that there are sort of guards posted up around, sort of people in the same regalia as Humphrey was wearing. The various guards sort of posted up in a perimeter, and you get the feeling that it's not really recommended that you leave the perimeter.
How do the guards regard us?
They nod at you. There's sort of a sense that you are very special guests. So one of them sort of smiles, excitedly, like, "Hey, the people are here that are they're gonna fix all this." But they're trying to keep it cool.
Gotcha.
What do you two make of all this? It is, kind of a frightening reality to suddenly find ourselves in.
Yeah, I'm not sure what to make of it. It's 30 years and everything's been transformed. I figure everything we knew is wrong now. So I don't know where we go.
It is quite bleak, but what is most upsetting to me is the feeling of directionlessness. I am completely unsure where we can go from here, or what it is we are to do.
Admit I'm a bit scared to leave the city, but I think that we have to see what is still left outside of it. As far as our hometowns and Mostone and I suppose Candlekeep and the other great areas of research. I don't know how much is left.
This is the only thing I can think to do as well. Whatever it is we should do, it does not seem it will take place here.
No, I think we need to maybe use this as a base, but we have to spend most of our time in the world.
As you are saying that, another crackle of thunder as huge purple lightning bolts arc into one direction towards another end of the city.
So are these from the ceiling down, or are they
Yeah.
just
They're sort of
okay.
out of the air, sort of like heat lightning, but
Okay.
they're coming some sort of from the air high up. I mean, this is a huge cavern. Like, I don't
Do
know.
they seem magical, or do they seem like weather effects?
It's hard to say. You know that the air has been stripped of the weave, so perhaps it's sort of a weather-based thing, but this is not standard weather. This is being crafted.
Yeah. Do I get awry ancient magic that's not part of the normal system vibes, or is this just freaky weather?
Roll me an arcane check.
Alright. I'm gonna bomb this roll. Arcana.
Oh, it was a 20 on my screen and then it went to a 2. You think this place has the weirdest weather.
Such weird weather. Is it just kind of like randomly striking, or does it seem to be like? I guess, do I feel afraid or the sense that I might get hit by walking around in the relative open?
Yeah, here's what I'll say. I'll say after you stay out here just sort of talking for a moment. At first it seems pretty random, but Isolde, with your high passive perception, you begin to notice a pattern that it is moving towards a particular district. As though, like, that district is siphoning off energy from the air.
Okay.
That is odd. The lightning only goes in one direction, it seems.
Where is it going towards?
Towards that district over there. I don't quite know which district that is, but we could ask, I suppose.
Taryn will approach one of like the guards, the one that seemed like most excited to see us.
His eyes go big when you show up.
He goes, "Excuse me, sir. Do you know what that district is?" And he kind of points to the one Isolde was talking about.
Yeah, that is the old Yithrin's robotics factory. Don't go there. It's off. Sort of, it's restricted. We're sort of not allowed to venture into there.
Is it off limits because it has yet to be secured, or is it off limits because there is work being done that's sensitive or dangerous there?
Well, it's secure, but not by us. It's there's a lot of work being done there. At least that's the feeling we get with all of the strikes. Whatever's going on there, it's going there pretty much 24/7, and it has been since we got here.
Okay, so it's by a different faction that lives here.
Yeah. Marin has a deal with Aureus. I'm sure he can detail you with the information that you need.
Aureus. Who is Aureus?
It's the man who runs the robot shop.
Have you seen this individual or only heard their name?
Oh, I don't really leave my post much. This is about as far as I go, unless somebody needs help a little ways away.
That's probably wise of you. Thanks for your help. Before we go, do you know how many different or independent groups live down here?
Well, Aureus is definitely one of the more, at least, I don't know, intelligent of the groups. There are, of course, other factions sort of scattered about, various sort of scavenging groups who have found this place since the end of times and have just sort of made a life down here. But the city is full of dangers, things left over here from a long time ago. There are occasionally liches and other Netherese wizards who roam the streets. We try to avoid them. They are outside of our capabilities, though Marin can come out every once in a while and deal with them.
Do the factions give you any trouble, or is there mostly peace?
Most everybody's just trying to survive, and most everybody realizes that the best way to do that is not to start anything. There's enough ghosts and undead monstrosities haunting these city streets to give us all plenty of targets for our aggression.
That is probably wise. Thank you for your help.
Of course.
Taryn will turn to go then.
As you're walking away, he says, are you gonna undo it?
We're going to make it better. Yes.
He seems a little disappointed with that answer, but he sort of turns back to his post.
How old does this guy look?
40s.
Okay. On our way back, I'll sort of mention to the others, I wonder how many people here actually want things to be undone back to 30 years ago.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, can we undo anything? Or are we just here to separate the planes again? I don't know how we could possibly undo the past, even though, or if that would break things further. Or if we can just set things right going forward.
I can't help but feel like we somehow failed all of these people by allowing this to happen, but at the same time, Ilmater was telling me that it was going to happen, so I don't know if we could have avoided it.
I don't know. I don't know. It seems like a lot of times when we try to undo the past or undo mistakes, we just make it worse. So maybe we can just keep moving forward.
Perhaps. I think once we understand the state of the rest of the world, some of those answers might become clearer.
Yeah, we can see.
Cut back to Verrill and Bosner. What are they talking about?
Out of game, I'm wondering, do I still have Marin's book that he entrusted me with?
You gave it to him.
I did? Okay, and that
Right
was
as
before we
yeah.
traveled?
Yeah, so he gave you the book. No, that was after. Sorry, that was probably unclear. He gave you the book and said one day he basically said, "I'll ask you for this and you'll give it to me." But what he wasn't explaining was that the version of him that was going to ask for it was going to be this one, the one
Yeah,
that you reach in the future. And so you did give it to him as soon as you came through the portal.
got you. Okay, so let me cross that off. So Varel, still holding the mushroom that he had just taken a bite out of, and kind of sitting pensively, is recalling his return to Choltz and finding his tower and undoing the apple, the aging of the apple. And so Varel is trying without exhausting himself to see if he's able to do anything to that effect with the mushroom, in anticipation of what he and the crew will have to do at a much larger scale before too long.
Okay. Interesting. Yeah, roll me. What level spell slot are you gonna blow to try this?
So the apple was 7th, so I suppose I will try once again at 7th.
You roll. Let's do an Arcana check.
You doke.
Okay. Perfect. Vosner, you watch as Varel picks up a mushroom and then channels an insane amount of energy into it in his hand. And you watch as the mushroom grows smaller and smaller and smaller and disappears.
Yeah, Vosner, even though he has seen Varel do incredible things, his mouth goes agape. And does he notice anything about Varel while he's doing this? Anything?
It's not a slight smirk. It's not even a smirk. You see a full-toothed smile on Varel's face. And as soon as you see it vanishes, so it doesn't last long. And so returning to his normal stoic expression, Varel looks up at Vosner and says, "Don't tell anybody I did that. I'm not allowed to do that."
You know, it's okay if we smile. But it's good to see something come from you like this. And then Vosner immediately dies. He's won the campaign. So
Oh my god.
yeah.
Congratulations.
Paco assumes Vosner's role.
Okay.
As you see on the background.
Yeah, that's a good question. Did Paco make it through the time jump?
I mean, Paco's always on Vosner's side. So,
Okay.
like, you know.
Perfect.
He's gained the ability to talk like a 4-year-old.
I'm
But
here for it.
yep. But he'll turn to Varel and he'll ask, "Do you think time is the real answer to this, or should we get rid of the Shadowfell?"
Varel simply says yes.
Bless you, Paco. So that's the answer I kind of figured. Let me try something. And he's gonna cast Augury. He's gonna do the ritual.
Can you put it in the
And
chat so I can see it?
yeah. Spell. Doesn't consume a spell slot since I'm doing it as ritual.
Oh, why isn't it giving me the full... Oh, I thought it was just...
Can you not like click on? You can click on the
Oh.
word Augury. Yeah.
But when I click on Augury, it doesn't expand. Does it expand for you?
Just randomly roll. I mean, in my character sheet, yes, but
Yeah,
not.
I'll look it up. There's something going on with like the collapsed spell thing. I'll have to fix that. So
Yeah,
it's good we see it now.
I can
Yeah.
put it in for you.
Yeah, I see it. Rolling dragon bones, blah blah blah. You receive an omen from an otherworldly entity about the result of a specific course of action that you plan to take in the next 30 minutes. So it would have to be something you're going to do in the next 30 minutes.
Yeah. And we still have the egg, right?
I believe it's in the main chamber, like sitting on a pedestal now.
Yeah. And my question would be, would hatching it or beginning to hatch it loosen the grip on the Shadowfell's hold on the material plane.
Okay. I'm gonna need you to roll insight. Yeah. We're gonna say with disadvantage.
Insight. With disadvantage?
Yeah.
Okay. How do we do that again? It's shift or is it control?
Control for disadvantage. Double click your character to bring up your character sheet in case that's. Okay, nice. With that, you begin to cast your spell, and the feeling is very strange. You're sort of reaching out to Mother Nature, and you get a sense that yes, nature's around, and yeah, you can harness and control it, but like the sort of spirit that you normally tap into, the like spirit of like the world, so to speak, feels gone. You immediately feel as though you're getting no answer, but you begin to sort of ask this question to yourself, and you channel your spell through your own mark, Saloon's mark, and you begin to think, yeah, this might do something. This might be the key. You don't know how, but the egg gives you good vibes.
Okay. And I kind of look up after the ritual is over. And I'll say to Vero, so if you can reverse time on objects, can you speed it up for other things?
Eat it up. He kind of asks as a question. What do you mean? What do you have in mind?
Well, I think remember that one object that made time happen faster and made the large world tree grow so fast and big. I think part of the equation might be that egg that we were entrusted. What if we hatch it? What if you alter its time so that we could hatch and grow the dragon? I think that might be another powerful ally.
Certainly. Dragons are admittedly more your area of expertise than mine. But
Yeah.
I do believe, kind of echoing Izzy's comment in the chat, Varel says, we do need some source of power, perhaps to accelerate time and hatch the egg, or perhaps the egg is the source of power. I'm not entirely sure. But I do believe our next steps are to find some object to aid us in moving forward or backward in time, as the case may be.
Yeah. And your area is more the altering of time. So, with our powers combined,
By the power!
yeah, and Paco will put his paw in there as well.
Let's say. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
About that time, I think Isolde, Damon, and Terran come back in.
Sounds good.
As we walk back in, Damon immediately blurts out, Aureus is here.
Out of game. Could you remind me who Aureus is again?
It was the dagger guy, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
Dagger Dan.
Went
Got it.
to Missile and then DeMarcus and then Damon.
And then we lost the dagger.
With Zymorvan.
Is
Right,
that-
Zach Morvan is pieced out.
There was like that midnight teleport fight.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was Varel at the time, right? That was post-missile?
Mm-hmm. Missile died
Yeah.
with it.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
And then it went to DeMarcus, who sacrificed himself.
And
Right.
then it went to Damon, who lost it to Zymorvan.
Got you.
I mean, after 30 years of unchecked behavior, I think everything worked out well. But
He is apparently has a robot running a factory for automatons, and has a alliance or deal or peace treaty or something with our settlement.
Whatever that
Aureus.
is can't be good.
definitely not.
Aureus was in the form of a dagger when we last encountered him, was he not?
He was, I think, he had some sort of goal that Zymorvan was going to help him achieve.
Yeah,
He
we
wanted
don't
to be
know
brought
who-
here to Ithrin. To be clear, nobody that we spoke to has seen Aureus, but the name was brought up. He is alive and working in another district here.
Presumably, he has possessed somebody, or Zymorvan still.
It may have taken over his body, but the fact that he's creating automatons, that's concerning. But I wonder at what cost the peace struck between our settlements. Like what was that cost?
He
Perhaps we
initially
should ask
persuaded
Lyra.
Missile to travel with him with the promise of developing an ensouled construct. Perhaps this is his continued goal.
It's possible that he is considered a lesser evil, so we've made, or the resistance here has made their peace with him to deal with later, or to let run free while they fight the Shadowgar.
You suppose that peace is tentative? It seems as though if Aureus achieved his goal, I can't imagine it would be for the sake of peace and cooperation.
Terran just kind of shrugs his wings.
Perhaps Marin can provide some insight into the situation.
Yes, I don't think that we should assume anything about this new world. We should ask Lyra or Marin. Who knows what's gone on in the last 30 years with Aureus?
Yeah, it's worth asking about. Should we go to their council meeting? We probably kept them waiting long enough.
Varel silently takes the cue, heads towards the door.
Okay. And let's do a quick break. 'Cause I have to pee. And we'll come back. Ooh, I can do the break time. Break time! And you can click I'm back whenever you're back. And I'll be right back.
Cool.
Hey, oh, I guess we're all on break. Cool.
Yeah, I think they left during the baby put down.
Got it. Did I miss anything?
I mean, we were just talking about Aureus
Got it.
and consulting with Lyra and Marin.
Okay. Did they say anything, or did we just kind of take a break before that?
Oh no, we said we were going to.
So, okay.
We haven't consulted with them yet.
Cool. All right. Do you need anything while I'm down here?
Do you want to bring me a Coke?
Coke.
Coke Zero.
All right. I think we have sugar-free cocaine, but you may have to just settle for a soda if we're out.
Okay.
Yeah. Sugar-free cocaine? Ooh, it's chilly.
I'm back. No worries about the nap. Y'all are good at D&D. I forgot how good you are. I didn't say anything for like 40 minutes.
You're good at making us good at D&D.
Yeah.
I'm just showing up. Man.
Oop, did I just mark somebody is here? Oh god. I didn't know I could do that. I don't know. Leif, are you actually here?
I am.
Okay, I'll mark you. Sorry. I tried to move the box and then I clicked on it and I was like, I don't know who I marked as here, but whatever.
The more I read that comment, or they had to put the baby down for a nap. The "for a nap" at the end is doing so much work in that sentence. It was just sorry I had to put the baby down. It's like, my God. But for a nap, it's like, oh, okay.
Yeah, sure.
Uh,
For a nap.
Hell of a phrase.
Wink.
It's like a CR, like 30 battle. Like, it's a pretty high difficult rating to get that baby down.
Yeah, you definitely want
For a nap.
two people there, one to aid the other one. Do
You
the
gotta
help
Yeah.
action.
You gotta grind through a lot of hit points.
Yeah.
She has pretty impressive psychological attacks, really.
Thunder damage, crying.
Yeah, and terrible gas cloud.
Oof.
Pretty strong charm effects too.
Yeah. Well, she is a warlock, so just makes everything complicated.
A warlick?
Yeah. It's like almost a warlock. It's like pre-warlock.
Pre-warlock. I take it you're here, Gert?
Yeah.
I'll mark you as
Sounds
here.
good.
Okay. I think we're ready to go.
Yes, Dad.
So you finish your thing, your discussion, and walk in and find. I'm gonna say there's a table in the middle of this room that Lyra and Marin are sort of hunched over looking at, and it is, let's just say, it's the map of Faerun with things circled and highlighted and stuff.
What are you working on?
We're just establishing the lines once again. It's important to know where it's safe to go and where it's not.
Does it shift a lot?
Well, we have scouts that go out and report back. It's usually not too much on the uplifting side, however. It's mostly that it shifts for the worse.
Understand. We do have a couple questions for you.
Of course.
First being, we're not exactly sure what may be the next steps as far as reversing it, what happened, or repelling the Shadowfell, or some other sort of, or the other hundreds of possibilities or things we haven't thought of. But we were wondering if you can give us a little bit more insight on the egg that we brought here. Maybe give us some insight on it.
Very well.
It seemed very important to bring to this time.
Yes, well, as for the egg, we are in the dark as to its necessary role in this. As for turning things back, this cannot be. Magic is unable to do such things, even insofar as I will be sent back to carry out the tasks that brought you here. I am not allowed to stray. I am not allowed to deviate. My fate is sealed. What you can do is change the future, where this is going, how this will end up, and you can right many wrongs. There is no undoing what has passed. As for the egg, yes, it does seem of great importance that we find some way to nurture it and raise it. It is undoubtedly a strong ally if it reaches a good age. Other than that, I have no idea what it is here for. There are things outside of my understanding.
Mm. Does the artifact by the large world tree to the north of us, or, well, I'm not exactly sure where in the world we are right now, but the large tree,
Kuldahar.
yeah, in Kuldahar, does that still exist? Is that artifact still there?
Kuldahar was burned down when the Shadowvar invaded. It is mostly a stump at this point. As for the Mythalar, I can't speak to it. It may still exist somewhere. It may be in the hands of the Shadowvar. I do not know.
Hmm. Okay. It's understandable.
Do you know who's making automatons in the city?
Aureus, yes.
What do you know of his intentions?
Very little. Other than that, he is interested in his own work, and he keeps himself confined to his part of the city. And as long as we do not interfere, he proceeds with, general success, it appears.
Do you trust him?
No, but, there are very few I trust left on this plane of existence.
I do not wish to dismiss your wisdom, Master Marin, but I do not believe he should be allowed to continue to operate with impunity.
Perhaps in a world with fewer pressing matters, Aureus would be a significant foe to contend with, but for now, there are many bigger things to deal with. Besides, Aureus seems to crave one thing above all else: survival. And a person who craves to survive may be a helpful ally in a time of need. If the Shadowvar discover Yithrin, they will not stop at killing all of us. They will kill him and take over whatever he's doing as well. He knows this.
What of the Shadowfar's goal? Have you met their leader?
No, I've not. I have stayed as far away as possible and kept as low a profile as possible. I know very little about them and their intent, other than that they seemed to have most of this invasion mapped out. There was very little error in their plan. All of the major cities fell within a day.
Was it, they used the portal system?
Partially, but they seemed to attack on multiple fronts without the portals. They had agents ready on the material plane. People instituted in various organizations with much power that were able to essentially unlock all the gates. Waterdeep, Silvery Moon, they all fell within not too long.
Are there others from the Shadow Plane who are not part of the Shadowvar?
It's a curious question. There are natural creatures, unnatural rather, but natural to the Shadowfell who have come along for the merger. They happen to just be part of the world that merged with ours. They exist now out in the wilds. But they're like beasts in our own realm. They have no intent other than to survive. Well, and to consume, which can be a problem if they find you.
Are those your only intentions as well? Survival and consumption.
Well, until you arrived, essentially. But now that you're here, we have a real chance at doing something good. Restoring the plains is our first and foremost goal.
How do you plan on doing this?
Well, that I cannot speak to. That is something that you must resolve. But I know where to look. Candlekeep is famous for having a restricted section, which even I have never been able to get into. If you were to find your way in there, perhaps the secrets to restoring the plains could be found.
Do maps of Candlekeep still exist?
A map wouldn't help you here. This wouldn't be contained on any map. In fact, it's likely not, the restricted area is likely not an actual physical location, but a demiplane of sorts. How you will find your way there is, still a question.
Indeed.
But the doorway, it's most likely somewhere still in Candlekeep.
So we need to get the Candlekeep first.
Yes, how do you suggest that we travel to Candlekeep?
Lyra sort of steps forward and acknowledges your question and says, "This is a tricky endeavor. We have rules here for how to get in and out of Yidrin. There cannot be any standing teleportation circle for longer than a few hours. I change it every few hours on the hour, and the code to get in is different every time. This is so that nobody can track us down. If anyone were to be captured and tortured, they wouldn't know how to get back. As for getting there, I can help you. I can teleport you anywhere you need to go, with a fairly high degree of certainty and accuracy. But getting back, you'll have to contact me and get the new code. Otherwise you won't be able to get back here.
And contacting you by magic is the best way to do that?
Yes. A simple sending spell. I will be on the surface, where the sending spells are more likely to be received, and I will await your request, and then I will assemble the circle down here. It will take me around 30 minutes in between your message to get the circle working.
And, Lyra, if anything were to happen to you, how would we return?
The good old-fashioned way, I suppose.
All right. I'm sorry to ask such a question, but it seems that everything around us is dangerous, and to be honest, I don't understand most of it, and I feel that we must be careful not to be placed into a dangerous situation with no way of returning to safety.
Yes. This is what we're trying to avoid. But we also have to not sacrifice Ythryn. However, if there was a moment where all of your lives were in danger, one of your wizards could attempt to teleport back here. It would leave a mark upon the shadow, and they would be able to trace it. Ythryn would be compromised. So we would have to leave here and find another place to hide. There are very few places left. It is important that you know that all of you are more important than this entire city and all of its inhabitants. So if you must come back, we'll understand. Cannot have you die.
Understood.
Varel doesn't want to ask, but he is curious why she would say such a loaded claim about us, unless I'm missing. Like, I think I see the obvious, but I'm curious why Lyra thinks that it's essential we stay alive. So could I do an insight check of some sort?
Sure, yeah.
To try to, just to try to discern why she might have said something like that.
You, from reading her face, there's nothing like, she's saying it like matter of fact, like this is just obvious. So there's no like cryptic message coming from her. I'll let you roll investigation to sort of piece together why she would think that.
Nice.
Wait, you're proficient in insight but not investigation?
Yeah, don't ask me why.
It seems wrong, but okay. Does it always
What
look
kind
that way?
of dumb wizard are you, man?
Anyways, well, I guess we'll let Damon solve the problems. With 21, that's good enough. You're basically able to discern that Lyra and Marin both believe that as the chosen of your respective gods, you all have far more chance in restoring the planes than anybody else. Lyra seems to be able to cast magic, which gives you the impression that she's also working for a deity, as does Marin, but you don't necessarily know like if there's really anybody else. You get the feeling Humphrey also has the mark of a divine being, because he sort of expressed that at some point, but you don't really know if there's any other people that the gods sent on their behalf to take care of this issue. So you may be the only people left on Faerun who can use magic, which in a fight against an invading army and all of the forces that it controls, magic is pretty important.
Yeah.
Especially since they can use magic.
So everybody in this room are probably the last magic casters in Faerun.
Potentially. You surmise that there are probably other people who can, and the reasoning for why they can, you can deduce either two things. Either they're marked by a divine being, or they're using the Shadow Weave, which is the sort of new and slightly evil version of the weave.
Yeah, I don't like that. Okay.
And you actually, I'll say with that investigation check, you also notice on the map that they're drawing that a lot of their new notes are about Fae, which is like a place full of those red wizards. One of which you encountered as bread, and one of which you fought in the jungle when Damon got that sword that they really wanted. Anyways, you've encountered the Fae a few times, and you can see there that basically written out by Marin is a note about how some of the Fae wizards have, like, how Fae was overthrown quickly, and how some of the Fae wizards have joined the side of the Shadowvar. Like, that's what the scouts report.
Got you. And I think that's in our journal.
I think I wrote that somewhere, maybe.
Yeah. Excellent.
So, do we know, at least from the guild, who may have betrayed us? And who might be underground like you all? Just in case we cross paths.
I was not there at the guild when you fled.
I look over to Humphrey.
Humphrey just sort of shakes his head like he doesn't know of anybody. Marin speaks up and says, "The people in Silvery Moon, Joris Azure Mantle, he in particular was working on behalf of the Shadowvar. We know that now. He has joined their ranks." As for other people, various aristocrats within the aristocracy in Watery Deep and and other cities were responsible. No one in particular that you would know. Mossstone itself seemed actually to be in good hands. We held out for quite a while. Or at least that's what the stories report. Lyra was there. She sort of nods.
I guess that is comforting. Like you said, 30 years is a long time. So, I guess I'll look over to Veril and say, do you think we should go ahead with our plan? Or get the Candlekeep first?
I see these as very much the same. We can go to Candlekeep and from there carry on as we discussed.
Should we take the egg with us? Do you think it'd be safer in a demiplane?
Taryn will speak up and go, "I don't want to take the egg into danger."
Marin agrees. Best to leave the egg here. As long as this place is safe, it is it's the least dangerous place for the egg to be.
How safe is this? It's secure for now, but is there a worry that the roaming undead and the other clans or factions could provide a problem, or are we stable right now?
Most all of Ythryn is contained. Very few people leave, and if they do, it's a very long walk before they can find anything resembling civilization. It's one of the reasons this place has remained relatively untouched. It's perhaps not even worth it for the Shadowvar to look down here, assuming it's just a pile of ruins. But it is not impossible to get to. It could be broken into, and we could have a problem, but we have remained in a relative state of harmony for the last 25 or so years. I wouldn't imagine that would change anytime soon by virtue of something happening in here.
Terran kind of nods.
Of course, a war with Aureus, he sort of looks at those of you and seems a little bit upset about Aureus being here, could potentially be loud enough to attract, outsiders.
Has Aureus found his own body, or is he still possessing others?
He has achieved a great feat. He now finds himself embodied in a construct.
Terran kind of nods.
It allows for him to work very long hours.
The dream, man.
Don't I know it?
In our journey to Candlekeep, I know that you have warned us previously about the Fae. Are there known Fae agents in the area of Candlekeep that we should be aware of?
Perhaps, if they're working for the Shadowvar, they might be anywhere. Those that converted. As for Candlekeep, it's much more likely that they've maintained a sort of regiment of sorts. Just standard Shadowvar initiates and soldiers. Perhaps even elite soldiers there. It's hard to say. Most cities have at least one or two shadow dragons sort of patrolling the skies.
How old of the dragons?
Not very. They're new. Of course, there are ancient and older dragons to contend with, but many of them that the elite soldiers ride are just young.
Are the cities populated? Or are they just empty besides the Shadowvar contingent?
Some of the cities who put up more of a fight are essentially ghost towns, but places like Waterdeep still maintain a pretty healthy population of, oppressed individuals. They get on with their new overlords fairly well, as there is no other choice.
Is Candlekeep one of these cities with population?
You would know that Candlekeep's not really a city as much as it is like it's kind of a town insofar as it's a library so big that it has like a support staff large enough that they need like, you know, a fairly big economy. It's not just like a dozen people, it's like hundreds. But it's not a city unto itself.
It's like a university town.
Yeah, exactly. There's not really all that much, and they have magical means to provide lots of things like food, so they don't really need to have farms nearby, or at least they used to have those means.
All right.
This is ridiculous because it's my own character, but did Varel study at Candlekeep in the
Yes.
backstory? Okay.
Yeah, so Varel's sort of long and short thing is that he came from a very far away island where a bunch of elves had kind of like retired to a long time ago, sort of split themselves off from society, and Varel was sort of curious about like why you would alienate yourself. So he brought Chronergy to the mainland because that was like an elvish magic style. Anyway, so he's like the only chronergist on Faerun, and then the spell plague happened, and he sort of got stuck here and couldn't go back. And then once it was over, he decided not to go back, and he decided
Got
to
you.
stay. And you fought in the spell plague and almost died, and were saved. And you sort of in that process turned into an agent for Mistra.
Got you. I just found the old backstory document and I see Candlekeep there, so but yeah,
Yeah.
appreciate
So
it.
you spent time there. That's where you were awarded your robes. That's where you talked to Lyrel Silverhand, who was the head wizard. Or was it
And I
Illustrial? I can't remember. It was one of the two Silverhands.
Illustrial was her second hand, and I think I met Illustrial at one point in this campaign.
And Lyrel was the top?
Yeah.
That's what I thought. Okay. So yeah, Illustrial was the one you met. Lyrel was sort of... Yeah. So you were basically working your way to the top of the wizard chain. And so you were like within a step of what Marin ended up being.
Wow. Cool. So will that I assume that familiarity with Candlekeep will be helpful.
Oh yeah. And then you all went there to study one time, and you were almost assassinated by your like apprentice guy who was just like your page or whatever. But I think Vosner saw a dream, then woke up and saved you.
Yeah, we homies.
That was also where Vosner had a dream about the hooded figure with red eyes in Candlekeep.
Prescient.
Yeah, that's where I thought I got his name, but I guess we didn't. So, but he did talk a little bit more, saying that I was always either too late or too early, but never right on time.
Because you're not a wizard.
Because I'm not a wizard.
Maybe you're on time now.
It's true.
I guess Lyra would speak up and say, well, if you want to go to Candlekeep, I can get you there. You just let me know when you're ready.
Damon, while this conversation has been going on, has started to sort of impatiently pace and flip his sword in and out. And he'll say, I think we should leave at once.
I see no reason to wait.
Agreed, I think it is time.
Very well. Make any preparations you need to, and I will send you when you tell me. Marin sort of turns to all of you and says, whatever you find there, know that there may be many paths forward. But also remember that there was one path that you were tasked with, and that is why you were given those marks. Just just keep that in mind. And he goes back to his study. Alright, so you guys just want to go, or I guess you would just ask, like, so, to the front gate of Candlekeep?
Sounds as good as any other plan.
Just
Yes,
so
it
you...
is possible to get us inside and closer to the restricted areas.
It's too dangerous to teleport inside of a building that I don't know if it's collapsed or not. I can get you outside of it. You'll have to find your own way in. There will be guards. They will be hostile. And, if any of them make their way out or escape, just know they will come back in greater numbers. You will need to, be careful and discreet, and, leave nobody to tell the story. You will also need to act fast. Patrols come by regularly. I would say, given Candlekeep's location, don't spend more than a couple of hours there. Otherwise, the big stuff will come get you.
So we are to get in, get what information we can, and get back out in a matter of hours.
Yes.
And we have to let you know 30 minutes in advance that we are returning?
Yes.
Alright. We will do our best.
I imagine you will. Alright, is anything you need to do? Buffs? Anything like that you want to do before teleporting?
Let me check my character.
Yeah, having a look myself.
Yeah, give me a second.
Go for it.
How does one D&D?
That is a great question. Just wait until
That's
we
the
do
next
combat.
edition.
How do I pilot this bird?
You guys figured out the role-playing thing pretty quick. I was like, damn.
Okay. I would like, I'm gonna get a mage armor out of the way,
Smart.
and then I'm gonna cast Fortune's
Oh,
Favor.
if you target yourself, it might actually even apply it.
I have it as a default, like, armor configuration,
Got
and
it.
so just before combat, I expel the slot. And then on Damon, in the event that where we teleport to is, like, a hot drop, I'd like to cast Fortune's Favor.
Oh,
And
actually, Dylan, Mage Armor doesn't do anything for you because your armor is already 13 base.
right, yeah, I have that as a
Oh, I see.
yeah.
Smart.
And so in a quick minute, Damon, that gives you an extra d20 when you roll an attack, ability, or saving throw. So if we land and you need to do something prompt,
Like, does it just give me advantage essentially, or I roll a d20 and add it to my first roll?
if you don't like it, you can roll an additional, so it's a re-roll.
Okay, cool.
And when an attack roll is made against you, you can also do the same thing, have it re-roll.
I gotta find how to undo this collapsed spell thing. Because it is annoying.
The lack of text when we cast spells.
Yeah, I need to
Yeah.
be able to read the whole spell.
I get that.
Saves.
So When did we get the rings of spell storing?
Yeah, that's a good question. We got those. You got those right at the end. They give you. I can't remember what I said. Third level slot.
I think so.
Yeah,
And yeah, anybody can cast stuff into them.
All right.
Nice.
very
But you have to
helpful.
like pre-cast it, so figure out what's in your ring before you leave.
If anybody wants a blasting spell.
I think I also have one of these.
I think we all do. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, do we all? Okay.
I have a couple extra shields in there.
Mine's default seems to be fireball.
Yeah.
If anyone wants to save a revivify spell, that is 3rd level.
Yeah, I'm gonna put that in there.
You'd have to burn the diamonds to do it, though. It
Oh,
would be
really?
in there permanently, but it would be.
Got it.
I mean, it's just good to have, just in case.
So it might not matter now because we'd have to cast the spells anyways. But I could use like a haste if someone wants to use that.
I think that's a good idea.
For the record, the hasted action cannot be used to cast another spell. It can only use an attack or a dash or whatever.
Yeah. Well, I was thinking it could be good to have someone else who could cast haste on somebody.
I see. That makes sense.
I'm actually going to prepare haste instead of my tower, because the tower would draw attention to us. And so I probably won't be casting that, so I'll have an extra haste for some distribution.
All right.
Nice. I'm gonna. How do I cast it into the ring? Do I just like mark it down? and say,
Consume the slot on your own character sheet. Just mark it down, and then you might just edit the text of the item and just say like put in parentheses what spell's currently in it.
Yeah, we might want to wait until we're about to take our next long rest to sort this out, because it's not going to save us anything if we burn the spell slot and then use the ring.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Sure. Call lightning template. Call lightning. um.
So, are we getting going?
I'm sort of waiting on people to say.
Yeah,
Here
right
we'll do
before.
this. Mark it if you are good to go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Legend lore requires to be a prepared spell, correct? If we
Mm,
find something, want to lore it.
I don't know. Can't you do it as a ritual?
I suppose so. Yeah.
I don't know. I'll look it up. Oh, wait, did you just remove it?
I unfavored.
I see.
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh no, I don't know. What does it say? It doesn't say anything, but it could be programmed wrong.
I'll prepare it anyhow, because it does require like incense and stuff. Maybe that means it's a ritual.
Yeah, I guess it's not a ritual. You'd have to cast it. It takes 10 minutes to cast, but it's not a ritual.
Strange.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Good
I
to
guess
know.
before we hop in, I'm going to cast Draconic Transformation right before we go through the portal.
Oh? You're gonna be a big dragon?
No,
Wait,
I'll,
what
I'll
is-
wait for time. So draconic transformation,
Oh,
yeah, I take on like attributes of a dragon, but I'm still the same size.
I see.
Um,
It is
with a roar,
concentration,
it's concentration.
and it lasts a
It-
minute.
Yeah, so
Oh,
I don't know if we're going like hot and heavy right into combat. Or
yeah,
not, so
I guess
maybe I'll not do that. And
yeah,
see
it might
where
be dangerous to blow a slot and then.
Yeah. Oh wait.
Everybody good?
Already good thing. Yeah.
All right. So, let me check to see if this is right. Lyra begins to channel her magic. She pulls a bunch of energy out of a symbol that is in her hand, and sort of it arcs into a circle, and then as it sort of weaves in the air, she begins to draw symbols and essentially generates her own like weave into a bubble that surrounds you as she like continually adds to it, stretches it, changes it, and you are all surrounded in a bubble. And she says, "Remember, only a few hours." And she snaps her finger, and you guys are hurled through shadow and sky and time and space and arrive here on a snowy patch of frozen, muddy dirt before the entrance to Candlekeep, where you see a large wooden bridge, which is a drawbridge, which has dropped down. The gate is open about halfway. It seems to be kind of broken, halfway closed, halfway open. The Candlekeep itself stands in front of you. One of its three massive spires is completely collapsed in on itself, and on the walls of the tower, or the walls in front of you, you see two figures sort of patrolling back and forth, unaware of your sort of sudden arrival. But sort of as you see out into this shadow space, you look around at each of you, and you appear to be kind of glowing like fireflies, bright in the shadow lit area.
So looking at the guards, does it look like there's more people around them?
From what you can tell, you can just see the heads of guards as they sort of bob and walk on the like they're not looking out at you, but you've only been here for like 3 seconds.
Okay. Are they like human, or are they like?
They
Chatty
look
people?
elvish.
Vosner's
They're
gonna
wearing
try and
black
hide.
Okay. What are you trying to do to hide?
I'm gonna hide behind them rocks
Oh,
so we don't.
Damon would also immediately look for a way to break line of sight.
Yeah,
okay.
I don't want to.
You
And then
guys
we can-
head for that like rock face there to sort of cloak yourself, pushing yourself
Yeah.
against it. Sure. Yeah, you're able to. Let's see. Everybody make a stealth roll. Let's see how our group stealth roll. Oh, you know what? I forgot to do my D6 thing. After everybody makes a stealth roll, I'll count those up.
Does this count as a stealth roll that relies on moving silently? Boots of Elven kind offer
Yeah,
advantage.
I'll give you advantage. That's fine.
Yeah. I also
And that's-
have silken spider boots, which give me advantage.
Oh, cool.
Shit
Doesn't
roll.
matter all that much because you guys are terrible at this.
Sick dice.
Oh.
And Isolde, don't you have disadvantage? Not that you're gonna get much worse than a 3, but anyways, we'll handle that in post.
What's the
Nice.
D6 thing again?
The D6 thing, you can see it in the rules. It's something my buddy Nick does. I started doing it in one of the last few sessions that we played. It's essentially like fate dice. It has to do with like what's happening in the rest of the world. And it's something we implemented in his game that I absolutely love, because as a DM, sometimes you have to decide whether or not like you guys fall into a trap or you guys find like great treasure, and it always feels pretty like arbitrary when the DM just decides it. So you guys get a roll and make your own fate. So everybody rolls a d6, and ones are bad and sixes are good, and a mixture of sixes and ones is interesting. Ooh, so far 2 6s. That's pretty rad.
Where?
According to the animations, Damon's 6 turned Isolde's 2 into a 6. So.
Oh. Good thing we don't have to listen to those.
Dang.
Slash roll space 1d6. Oh, the balance. All right. So, this is what happened. One of the drow shadow blades up on the wall goes over and sees you glowing. And he points out, and the other shadow blade goes like, it's in Elvish, so those of you who can speak Elvish can hear it, can understand it. But he goes, "Hey, there's something over there," and they begin talking about it. He says, "Yeah, right over there, by the rocks. Get ready." He's like, "Oh, call the other guards." And then this guy comes over and says, "You're fucking seeing things again. I swear to God, this happens every time. There's nothing out there. Nobody comes here. There's nothing to do here. I've been on this post for 15 years. Nothing happens. Nothing ever will happen." And they start arguing with one another. And that goes on for like the next minute or so. What do you do?
Can I fly up here?
You can, but you will be very visible.
Okay, never mind.
Where's my character sheet?
You can double click on your token to get your character sheet.
I think for now we have the element of surprise, but it will not last long.
Yes, we have limited time. If we are going to engage, now is our moment.
Hearing that, I would like to use my staff, which allows me to cast hypnotic pattern. Yeah.
Okay.
So let me do that. Cast it. And, whoops. Oh, I lost the template. There we go. I'm going to put it right up here on those boys.
Nice.
And that has them roll a saving throw. On failed, they become charmed. While charmed, they're incapacitated and have a speed of 0. And it ends once they take damage, but at least now they're in a stupor.
1 second, because hypnotic pattern says I think it says something about like it doesn't work if they're immune to charm.
I'll have to look it up. It's not written in that.
Oh, does it not say that in there?
It does not.
But it does say on a failed save, the creature becomes charmed for the duration. So if they're immune to charm.
Yeah, but I don't see immune to charm on. I thought elves can't be put to sleep, but I don't think that's the same thing as charmed in this institution.
They have advantage against charm, like explicit charm spells or spell-like abilities.
Yeah, Fey Ancestry, you have advantage on saving throws against being charmed.
Yeah,
And
weirdly,
magic
it
can't-
doesn't. It's not putting the text out there for me.
Oh.
Can you guys see the text when he posts?
No.
No. I mean, just like an abbreviated. Then no.
Huh. Yeah, I really need to change that because that's like so important. But here's what I'm gonna say. Part of that 6 that you guys got, these guys are they don't have that. So yeah, they fail the save, and I really need to find a way to not have it collapse this.
On seeing them go glassy-eyed, Taryn's going to fly up on top of the snow and then like hunch down to get a better look inside what's the town.
Damon will activate his boots of flying and accompany you.
So do we see anything new from the better vantage point?
Higher up, you do not see anything. It looks like an empty courtyard. There is a big building behind them, which you cannot see into. And there is a small tower up that way. Wait, can you even see my thing? Did you see my ruler there?
I did not, but I might have been too far zoomed in.
Oh, maybe I've had that disabled. Can you see this ruler?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, that's from the observer. You can see this building has some stuff in it, and then this tower you can't see into. I mean, you can't see what's in this building, but it's big, and then you can't see what's in this tower, but it's big. But that's all you really get, and an empty courtyard. Also, for the purposes of just mechanics, this is the entrance to Candlekeep that you're trying to get to. This gets you into the library.
Oh, the far end.
Yep.
Okay.
So
it's empty, but does it look lived in, or does it look like empty and deserted?
it looks patrolled. It doesn't look decorated. You know what I mean? Like, people don't. It's not like a home for anybody. It's not a place where people spend a lot of time, but it is. You can see footsteps or like, you know, a well-worn like path in this kind of snow and dirt and dust.
Damon is going to take the initiative and fly over behind these guys while they're hypnotized and try and stab them in the back.
Okay, let's go to initiative.
Yeah, seeing Damon fly, I would kind of give everyone the silent signal to start moving in on the buildings.
Oh, there we go.
Okay. So Varel, you get to go first. You've put them all to sleep. But we'll say, hell
Whoa.
Oh,
Whoa.
that's awesome.
Cool.
Next level.
I love it. I'm gonna take my movement to move 30 feet towards the bridge, and I will prepare and hold a spell.
Holding a spell is concentration. Wait, hypnotic pattern is not concentration. Never
It's
mind.
the use of my staff. I don't know if that changes my need to
If
concentrate.
it were a wait, no, hypnotic pattern is concentration. It says.
Yeah,
So,
but
it
I'm
still
not casting
uses your concentration.
okay. Therefore I cannot prepare. Okay.
Yep.
In that case, I will continue to hold that spell and inch my way strategically closer. And I suppose that will be it.
Okay. All right. Let me pop that out. Damon, you are up.
So I already moved over here, so I would have
Yeah.
had to probably use my action to dash to make it all the way.
We gave Varel like our running thing. I'll say you can be there. That's fine.
Okay. Then I'm going to try and stab the closest one, or the one like directly south of me in the back.
Okay. Oh, let me throw in some fucking battle music.
awesome.
All right. So, yeah, Damon, you cut into the back of this Shadow Blade, who has just had a rude awakening.
And I think I'll use my action surge to do the same thing again.
Okay.
And I'm gonna roll a psychic die to add on a little extra.
All right.
So that's an I think that's an extra 10 then.
Oh. Okay. He is taking 10 more damage. It is this Drow Shadowblade's turn. He is asleep. Isolde.
I'm just gonna start moving in.
Okay. Is that your turn?
Yep.
Cool. They are, by the way, I should probably put it on their things, like 20 feet up from you.
Yeah, I figured this is like a bridge watchtower situation.
Cool. This Drow Shadowblade wakes up, rudely awoken, and is going to walk this way, and he is going to use his action to wake up his friend.
Does he like feel vindicated and rub it in that he was right?
Yeah, he comes over and pushes his sort of dazed friend and says, "I told you, wake up!" And it is Tyrion's turn. Oh wait, hold on. He can do something as a bonus action. He's going to what is that distance? 60 feet. He's going to shadow step 60 feet this way. And that is his turn. Tyrion, you're up.
Let me check. My range on the spell. 120 feet. Alright. So I'm going to fly 30 feet, so I'm over the abyss. And then I'm going to use Alora's staff to shoot a ice ray at the fleeing drow.
Nice.
It's one. Oof. 2.
Ooh.
And 3.
Those rolls.
And that is my turn.
Okay. Bosner, you're up.
Cool. I'm going to wild shape into Edrigan. So, a little vermling. Where are you?
Should be under wild shapes.
Yeah, I'm just trying to drag him over.
Yeah, does it let you do that?
Nope.
Okay, I'll do it for you. Oh no,
Wait.
he's black and white, sorry.
I'm a Shadowfell Wormling now. And then I'm going to fly. I'm essentially just going to dash over here.
I don't
And
know
give.
if what your speed is.
I think it's 60 feet, and so if I dash, I can... use my action and my movement to do
Fly
that.
is 60 feet, yep.
So, just gonna go do.
Okay.
Give Damon a easier chance to hit.
We are not doing flanking, but that is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Beyrul, you are up.
Yes, sir.
You are
I'm
no
gonna-
longer concentrating on anything because they're no longer affected by it.
Cool beans. Let's just shake the dust off the old chrono spike.
Oh, by the way, a bunch of your spells kind of broke. Wait, are you doing 3 of them?
That shouldn't be.
Oh, it rolled twice. Anyways,
Could be my mouse.
we'll undo that because the
It
first
says-
one missed.
Oh, never mind.
But anyways, yeah, some of your spells broke like the animation did because the way the animation software works is it like looks for the spell name, and some of these things are homebrewed or renamed or whatever. So
See.
I was going through and manually fixing them, so I did fix Chrono Spike, but if you have a spell and you cast it and it doesn't have a cool effect, write it down and I can fix it later.
I'll be on the lookout. Thank you.
Cool. Damon, you're up.
All right, this is happening. And I'm taking off after this guy, so I'm gonna use my haste action and my movement to get in front of him.
Okay.
And then I'll just square up for next round.
Okay. Oops. Didn't mean to do that. This Shadow is going to turn to Vosner and attack him with his Shadow Sword. Oh, wait. Why is it like that? That's weird. But it worked. We read. Oh, I see why it's doing it that way. I'm gonna have to fix it on all of them. I'm pretty sure I had the same mistake last time I tried to play this character. Or these monsters. But yeah, he has multi-attacks. Either attack hits... Oh, I see what's happening. The drow makes 2 attacks with its Shadow Sword. If either attack hits, this target is within... and the target is within 5 feet. 5-foot cube of darkness created by the Shadow Sword on previous... Wait. Fuck. I don't understand. Oh, the drow can then... Okay, so by hitting you, he creates like a little square of darkness around you that you find yourself in.
Are those blades magical and all that?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think
don't think
that's
is-
all I'm gonna do then on that.
Alright. I'm
So-
also resistant to poison or immune to poison because of that armor.
Oh. And
Let's
that
see,
didn't
because my
apply
dragon
correctly.
armor.
Oh, because we haven't put that on your dragon. No, it says poison resistance on it.
Does it?
Why did it do it wrong?
Plus 3 HP advantage against frightful presence, dragon attacks. Since dragons within 30 miles
Okay.
of me.
You took 2 plus 5, 7 plus 11 necrotic. So you should have only taken like... No, that must have done it right. Because you would have
Did it
taken
do it?
32, but you only took 25. So it's
Okay.
got the poison resistance correct.
Got it.
Alright, and I think that's all it does then. Isolde, you're up.
Alright. I'm gonna keep moving in and hopefully get up these stairs.
Did you have the mobile feat? You can move 40 feet.
Yeah, I've been dashing for 80.
Oh, okay. Just making sure.
Yep.
Cool. All right.
But preserving spell slots, so that's it.
Yeah. This guy is going to try to Shadow Sword Damon. Missing.
Did it work?
Nope. He tries to hit you with a sword that cloaks you in shadow, and he whiffs. Taryn, you're up.
All right.
Oh, sorry. As a bonus action, however, he's going to teleport another 60 feet up to the top of this tower now. Now it's Taryn's turn.
Alright, so he's 107 feet. I'm going to attack him with a scorching ray of my own.
Okay.
I'm gonna burn a magic point to make it an ice ray, though.
Sweet.
One. Two.
Oh! Shit, yeah. How do you want to kill the first monster of our new campaign arc?
So as Terran's flying forward, the little snowstorm of his staff kind of intensifies around him. He draws the ice from the storm into his hand, and then 3 bolts of ice shoot out and like each skewer this guy.
And he lets out a scream as these shards of ice penetrate him, and he falls dead and collapses on this tower. Bosner, it is your turn.
Nice. Okay. I'm going to expend a first level spell slot to. Oops. Heal myself 8 with a D8. So. And give me something good. 7. Nice. So plus 7 to dragon. Plus 7. No, that would be 13. Come on. Why isn't this working? 1, 3. There we go.
I got you.
Cool. And then I might be cloaked in shadow, but I am a dragon. I have blind sight. So there you go. And I guess I will just attack with a bitey bite. Do I get multi-attack or no? I don't. I just get one
I don't think
attack.
so. Just the one bite.
Just one bite. Just fine.
Well,
Okay. That's it.
Okay.
Mhm.
Payroll, it is your turn.
Okay. Varel is almost insulted both by the persistence and existence of these drow. And so, in an effort to let them know of his disdain, I think this is the first time I've ever actually cast this.
The fuck is that?
A cloud of, what is it? Mites, fleas, and other parasites appear momentarily The target must succeed on a constant saving throw where it takes 1d6 poison damage and starts moving in random directions.
Okay. Is it like a like right now he moves randomly?
Yeah, I roll a 1d4 to predict the direction, which I guess.
All right. What does it say for each direction?
3
is east. All right.
So he's covered in flies and biting mites and flailing about frantically. And
Yeah.
Vale will just calmly move. Not even his full movement. He's in no rush.
And I'm
Sick.
gonna get a what you call it, attack.
No, it says it doesn't add. This movement does not provoke opportunity attacks.
What?
In the spell, it says that. I know.
Yeah,
It is a
force usually
cantrip.
doesn't.
However, Veyroll, at the top of the round, when you cast that spell, you hear the sound of dogs barking.
That's unnerving.
Yep, there is something coming. Damon, it is your turn.
All right, I'm just gonna move into hit this guy.
You've
And
still
I'll
got
swing.
haste.
I'll swing once more.
Got him again. Chonking him. Alright. This is the Drow Shadowblade's turn. He is going to Shadow Step. Say right where you were just at. And he's going to hit you with his hand crossbow.
Is Shadow Step a spell or is that just like a feature?
It's a feature for him.
Okay.
Effectively, he can do it anywhere. Wait, why did it do a saving throw? What is happening? I need to like remake all these things. Why is it saving throw? Alright, hold on. Let's see if I've got this monster in the game. Yoink. Put him in the combat. This guy was at 90. Alright. Just replace the token. Let's see if this one works. That was an old import, so I wonder if this will work better.
Yeah.
Yeah, alright, I gotta undo the damage from earlier. Perfect. He shoots his hand crossbow at Damon. I think he gets 2 shots though. One of the attacks can be replaced by hand gear. Okay, yeah, so he can only shoot the one. So he teleports away from you and shoots, and he shouts, "We're under attack!" And Isolde, it is your turn.
Alright, I'm gonna try to go after this guy. Alright, it's telling me that I have to target someone, but I already have him targeted.
Oh, do you have somebody else also targeted? It's not working. What's the spell?
Inflict wounds.
Okay. See if I can do it from your character sheet. What level inflict wounds?
Third.
Yeah, you must target at most tokens. What? Interesting. Let me see what it says. Alright, let's try it now. Alright, it was just bugged. Oh my god.
shit.
Alright, so I cast it at first level, but it did crit. Would you like me to redo it at third level? It's probably more effective to have a first level crit than a third level not.
I'll keep it as is.
Okay,
Save the spell slot.
yeah. It was a very good use of first level spell slot. Yeah, you, what's it look like when you inflict wounds on this Drow Shadowblade?
She rushes up, and when she hears him yell, she tries to place her hand over his mouth, and lesions shoot up the sides of his face.
Oh, that's horrifying and awesome. Okay, yeah, that is what fucking happens. Cool. Sorry, I was dealing with other shit too. Alright, this Shadowblade is dead. Alright, Taryn, you're up.
I'm gonna fly 20 feet higher in the air. And then just do the same thing. It seems to be working for me, so. So the first one. Second one. And the third one. Fuck.
Bummer.
That's my turn.
Okay. Bosner, you're up.
Can you mark my elevation? Or
Yep.
can I mark my elevation?
Yeah, if you right click your token, there's
I
a
got
number in the top left.
Nice. How far is that person away? I'm going to let's see. Alright, you can. Alright, I'm gonna teleport. I'm gonna use one of Sloan's marks here. And get myself within 5 feet of the guy.
Okay.
And then use my regular movement to get to him.
Okay.
And so then I will attack him. Come on. A bite. Attack. Cool.
You were targeting yourself.
Was I targeting myself? Darn it.
Yeah, a 17
I
would
mean,
hit.
it probably. I would have.
Yep.
All right. So I guess I'll just do damage to that guy then.
Yeah. Nice. So 6 damage. Is that your turn?
Yeah.
Okay. At the top of the round, coming down the way here, you see another figure, and the sounds of barking get louder as running down the way, you see a number of shadow mastiffs. I'm gonna roll for them.
Are they cute and good boys?
They are bad boys and not so cute.
Okay.
Like they're the kind of dogs that people who aren't dog people are afraid of. Varel, it is your turn.
All right. Hearing the sound of dogs and being a sponge for damage, I'm going to Misty Step up to the platform where Damon is.
Cool.
So let me cast that really quick. And I will just move, what's the range? 30 feet. So let's go to there.
You
this is the
technically
stairwell.
need to be able to see it. Yeah, and it just kind of bugged out there. But you technically need to be able to see where you're going, so you could Misty Step to the top here.
That'll work. And then, not seeing... Well, let me see my range here. Oh yeah, that's within range. We'll send one of the old-fashioned chrono spikes to that guy up in the northwest.
Cool.
Get chronographed.
Yeah, you hit him.
And then, do I still have movement?
Yeah, you still have 30 feet of movement.
Let me tuck myself into a bit of a corner here.
Okay.
Let's go
You're
right
gonna
there.
hide behind the wall.
I am a coward, yes.
Damon, you are up.
I'm gonna try and finish off this weak guy over here.
I mean, he's trying his best.
No need to insult the man.
Boom. Yeah, what's it look like when you kill this Shadowblade?
How about I just like am flying over it and I just let my momentum carry me sword first into him and pin him against the wall, and then yank my sword out and let him just fall.
Sick. You still have your hasted action.
I'm just gonna move towards my next target.
Cool. Still flying?
Yeah, I mean I'm gonna like be bringing myself down to whatever elevation they're at. But yeah.
He's up on the wall over here. Or wait, you can't see my shit. Over here, he's up on the wall.
Okay, then
at 20 feet.
Yeah, then I'll just be in a line flying above the ground.
Okay. It is that. Oh, Shadowblade's turn. He's going to see you flying like that, and he is going to spell cast. He's going to cast Fairy Fire on you. And you succeed.
Oh, okay, cool.
Critically. Nicely done. Alright. Yeah, so he tries to like cast a magic spell on you to like cover you and stuff, and then he blinks to the top of this parapet thing and then walks down this way. And that is his turn. Shadow Mastiff moves 40 feet. Shadowblade down. Shadow Mastiff goes 80. Isolde, it is your turn.
Alright, can I see all these folks gathering? And are
Yeah.
they all on the same height?
Yeah, those are all down on the ground level. You are 20 feet up.
Alright. This building that's in front of me, if I continue running forward, am I gonna like run along the wall? Sorry, can you hear me?
Sorry. Which way are you running? Sorry. Oh, yeah, that let's say, yeah, that's sort of like the end of the wall there. Like this is a solid wall right here.
Okay.
A lot of hoofing it.
Yeah, so I'm gonna run, dash, and then bonus action spiritual weapon.
Oh, cool. Oh fuck! Did I bring over the spiritual weapon? Uh-oh. Let me check. Oh, I did. I'm so good at this game. Alright. Put that in miscellaneous. Alright. You can summon it 60 feet away, so you actually get to summon it. And yeah, you fucking hit it. Nice.
Nice.
Okay. And now it is this dog's turn. He's coming this far. That far. The Mastiff Alpha. Is he faster? Nope. Oh wait, does he have any special things? Oh, hell yeah. He's gonna come in. Oh, he can only do that as an action. Alright, so this big Mastiff. It's within 300 feet. He's gonna do Terrifying Howl. Taryn,
Yes.
swear to God, there's a dinosaur coming.
Shit.
You like wanna hide. Everybody else is like, oh, Damon failed too. Damon, that's a scary fucking dog, and you don't want to move towards it. You don't know where that thing's from. Varel, was that even a dog? It sounded stupid. And then same with the Bronze Dragon and Isolde. They ain't scared of nothing. What does it do? Just fears? Frightened? Target can repeat at the end of each of its turns, ending the effect of success. Yeah, so you're just frightened.
So I can't move towards it.
Correct.
Okay, is that it?
I believe so. Taryn, it's your turn.
Alright. Well, I think they're within 150 feet.
That's right.
So I'm going to just throw a cold fireball
Love it.
in their general direction.
Who doesn't love a little bit of fireball? You wouldn't be able to get the Shadow Blade. He's on a different plane.
Alright, I'm just gonna put it right there.
Yeah. That'll do it. So much for the Shadow Mastiffs. All of them fail the DC 20 Dex save. I forgot, you guys are like gods. CR2 monsters, not so hard. Yeah, what's it look like when you hear this dinosaur cry that takes you back to your haunting days in the Abyss?
So Terran's eyes go wide, and he just like points the staff in the general direction and just sends a ball of ice that kind of like floats to the center and then sucks all of the coldness of just the winter in general around it and like freezes everything there. And then he kind of books it 20 feet south.
Okay. Alright. Voss.
Am I not feared anymore because it blew up?
Yes. Well, actually, just make a wisdom save at the end of your turn. See
Alright.
if that resolves it.
Sorry, did you say Vosner's up?
Vozer's next. After that. Okay, you're no longer scared anyways. After it blew up, you're like, that wasn't a dinosaur.
A dinosaur wouldn't go down that easy.
Yeah. So Vosner is up, yes.
Okay, Gert's getting ready to head to work because he has to work at 2:30. But he is going to fly towards the door and hold his action in case more stuff comes out of it.
Which door? Oh, over here, you mean? Or here?
Door to the library, I guess.
Oh. The library door is way up yonder. This is the exit you're looking for. Sort of another part of the courtyard.
Alright, he says, yeah, just 60 feet in that direction.
Cool. Yeah, would he go on top of this big building, or no?
He says, get him on top so he can see the battlefield.
Yeah, so I'll say this. Yeah, Gert flies to the top of this massive building, which you take to be like the place where the dogs just came rushing out of. And he, from that perspective, is able to see this Shadowblade who just watched all of the dogs explode in icy shrapnel. Is that all?
Is he within attacking range of the Shadowblade?
No, he would have to dash to get next to it, but...
Alright, he'll hold an attack, and if it comes within range, he'll attack it.
Okay. That will be... he's sort of defensive up on top of that thing. Vigor, you're up.
Yep, we're gonna keep hurling cantrips. So, target that fool, send a mote a time or two at him. Shit on. And then I will take some movement towards the steps to catch up with the gang.
Okay. Damon, you are up.
Okay. In my panic, I don't want to move closer. So I'm just going to lob a fireball at the Shadowblade first.
Let me check to see this. Friend. Yeah, it doesn't say anything about not being afraid of it, but I feel like if it's dead, you wouldn't be afraid of it anymore. So.
Okay, we can rule it however you want, but I was
Yeah.
just gonna go with rules as written.
Yeah, I think with it being dead, you're not afraid of it anymore.
Okay, then I will fly at the Drow Shadowblade and
Okay.
attack it. Before I turn and fly away, I turn to nod at Terran for helping me out there.
Nice. Okay. At that moment, I'm gonna do something here. He is going to step away from you, taking an attack of opportunity. Oh yeah, that'll do it. And he is going to shadow step into the air 60 feet up. Well, what's the equivalent of 60 feet up from where he was? So 75 feet into the air. And I am going to have him make a acrobatics check. Ooh, which he is not proficient in. So just a dex. Oh, not quite. As a shadow dragon comes flying out of this tower to scoop him up out of the air, and he tries to grapple on and fails as it flies past. It was a DC 15. And he is going to fall 75 feet, which is 76. And take 21 damage. As he is now on the ground in pain, and this shadow dragon is now flying away without him. And he has hit the ground. And that is his awful turn. The Mastiff is dead, this one's dead, this one's dead. Isolde.
Alright. I'm gonna try to get up towards where Damon is. And I still have my spiritual weapon, so I'm gonna move it like 20 feet out in front of me.
Sure. It can move itself 20 feet, or what's its movement?
Its movement is 20 feet, I believe.
Okay, so now it's like right next to you.
Okay.
Alright, Shadow Mastiff is dead. Shadow Mastiff Alpha is dead. Turns out you guys are good at killing lots of chumps. Alright, Taryn, you're up.
Alright, I'm just going to dash towards whatever's happening. I'm assuming I just didn't see what happened with the drow because I was.
Yeah, that was like obscured by a building or something.
So I'm just, talking myself down. Like it wasn't a dinosaur. Come on. And I fly closer.
Glorious. Fosner is, I think, gonna just regroup with you guys. That would be my guess. No, I guess he could dash and get on top of the Shadow Blade and stand over him. Now
Is the dragon gone?
The dragon swooped in quickly and then sort of blinked away. Like the dragon was summoned to pick him up, and now seeing that you guys have killed everybody, it has just fucking fled.
Okay, so it teleported away.
Yeah, it did the same blink thing that you've seen.
I just did a dash, so took a double movement to my current location.
Okay. Damon, it is your turn.
I'm just going to use all my movement in a dash to get up to that guy. Is he prone after falling to the ground?
Yeah, he is prone.
Dope.
I'll make him prone.
Okay, so then I'm just going to slice him with advantage.
Oh.
And I will boost that with some psychic die.
he says, "Who are you?" as you cut him down and kill him.
So that's an extra 10.
Yep, and he only had 7 health left, so he is dead. And I'm gonna say that is the end of combat here in this particular part. And I'm thinking, do people want to be done? Is that like a long enough session? You feel good about that?
I think for now, yeah, since Garrett's gone.
Sounds fair.
Yeah,
Yeah,
sounds
that
good to me. We got a
works for me.
lot accomplished, and you still have all the Candlekeep to do, which means I don't have to do a bunch of prep next time. Haha. And then I guess maybe we can just decide this in Discord, but we'll figure out when the next time we're meeting is.
That works for me.
Sounds good.
Sounds
Cool.
good.
Well, thanks everybody. That was pretty rad. Feels good to be playing again. Taking off the rust a little. You guys are
Hell yeah.
crushing it, and
That was awesome.
starting to learn a little bit about Yithrin and what old Aureus
Feeling
has been up to for a bit.
We got stuff to do. This is nice.